and I'm watching the rise. And I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just about my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind. To the videos, they thought I was a black guy. That's hard to get over. I'm foreigner in the sport, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different, I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm soft-spoken. Authentic like a 5950 and there's no cap. Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the They done baptized the bad guy. Still don't follow religion. The fabric's not average. The cotton's Egyptian. 500 for the shoes, come dirty, but the European. Less is more and less is the bank. Up the score, I pull up from trade. From the tray, I'm ballin' like Trey. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up, 10 toes stay G'd up. I'm tryna get that type of wealth, like a house on the hills, can't see us. Say the money still me up, stay humble, stay teed up. I don't tell you how to live, so don't hit me with no weak stuff. And if you know the deal, then you know the deal. If it's real, then you know it's real. Toast. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. For the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real.
Hello, everybody. Hi, squaddies. How's everybody this lovely Thursday? Let me see those thumbs up. And yes, pour the champagne, the matcha tea, the coffee, whatever it is that you are drinking today. Let's celebrate the Sussexes. Happy 4th anniversary to Harry, Meghan, and the whole dance squad, really. And definitely picked the perfect song, I think, for this occasion. Yes, let's have a toast for the real ones, for real love, for true love, that withstood almost every barrier I think anyone can imagine. And despite all efforts to tear them apart, to destroy their marriage, here they are, standing strong after 4 years of marriage and 6 years in total being together. That is marvelous. And shout out to all the squaddies who have been having Harry and Meghan's anniversary trending on Twitter. Once again, we showed up and showed out. It's so funny how we are able to just get things trending organically in a way that I think the palace just wishes they could. It's like no matter what they do, all the bots they hire, but we just get things trending organically. And quite a few organizations and magazines like Vogue Arabia, Invictus Games, all wishing the Duke and Duchess a happy anniversary. So hello everyone for joining. Let's see who's here. See if I can spot any new names. Hello to all of the usuals and the mods. Thank you as always. Let's see now. Pamela Stephens, I don't think I've seen you in a while. How are you, darling? Macy Foreman? I don't think I've seen that name before. Let's see. Brenda Mackenzie, hello. Don't think I recognize you. See who else. For Fortunate Michaela. That's definitely a name I haven't seen. Are you new or are you just one of the silent listeners? Well, welcome to everyone, old, new, silent listeners, to Harry and Meghan's fourth anniversary podcast show here at Duchess of Success. And I guess I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the day because it was truly a wonderful day. I wasn't really a squaddy at the time. And I'm quite bummed about it now because I feel like if I had been, I probably would have gone out to London and really enjoyed the day. I haven't watched Baron's podcast yet, but I know that he did go to the wedding and he was there. So I'm definitely, and if you haven't already, definitely go and check out his podcast because I'm sure it was a great show. But I wish that I had been there to really enjoy it because I watched the wedding, but it was very much in passing. Like I kind of had it on in the background that day. Oh, Fortunate Fox, I'm not new. You refer to me quite often. Okay, sorry. There's so many of you. Like sometimes I forget, but thank you so much for being here. Um, but yeah, I kind of just had it going on in the background. I mostly just watched the main ceremony and when they were coming up the mall. And yeah, I think I was just kind of like around the house doing chores that day. So sadly, I didn't pay attention to it. But I have gone back since and watched the whole um, wedding in full. And it was truly a marvelous day. It's sad to know what they were going through now behind the scenes. And of course, there was a lot of, snottiness inside of that church that day. We saw the eye rolling, we saw the giggling, we saw the people showing up in what was practically white on another woman's wedding day. And we heard of all the shenanigans that had gone on about bridesmaids' dresses and tights and the efforts by Thomas Markle and allegedly for the lawyers, those inside the palace to try and sabotage the wedding. But it went ahead and it's been 4 marvelous years. This is actually one of my favorite pictures from the wedding. I think that Meghan just looks so ethereal. The way the lighting just came through the abbey, the her being led by the priest there. I also just I it's kind of sad that she's alone in this picture, but there is something very powerful about it. Just this very modern royal coming in by herself. Of course, she was met by Charles halfway, which was very sweet in the moment, but it's unfortunate how Charles has acted since. But on the day, it was quite a sweet moment because obviously her father wasn't there. And oh, I did do a video of the picture in the top corner from above. I did actually do a video called Diana's View, how the picture was captured. It's quite an interesting story. So if you go to the community tab, I've got a link to that video and how the photographer captured that image. It was one of the most powerful images of the day, I think. And it really does look like Diana's view, her looking up, so her looking down from above. And just all around, it was a very positive, very patriotic day. A lot of people did come together. And, I've never really been a royalist. I think for me, I just felt that Diana's boy found happiness. And I do feel that when Diana passed away, there was a sense of sadness, a great sense of sadness in the nation for the boys. So for me, I didn't really watch this, because I was a huge royalist or because I was a huge fan of the royal family. I watched it because I felt that Harry's always been a good person. He's done his best for charity. He fought for his country, and after everything he'd been through as a child, he found happiness with someone. And I thought that that was a very positive thing, regardless of what I think about the royal family as a whole. And I think even people who are quite skeptical of the royals kind of felt the same way. So it was a very joyful, happy day, regardless of anything that was happening in the background. I don't know where this image is from. This image with I think it's so brilliant. I don't know who did this, but you can see Minnie, Harry, Meghan, William, and Catherine, and even Mama Doria. They even got Mama Doria in there. Absolutely lovely. I loved it. So I don't know if this was no, this wouldn't have been on the day. Maybe for like, I don't know, fun Halloween costume party. But I thought that was very adorable. And just some more images. The lovely kiss. Harry bringing her down the stairs. Look at the bishop there. The way he's smiling at Meg. I mean, you can see the joy on his face. Also the choir. I remember the choir sang "This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine." Beautiful moment. And also when Harry and Meghan were going to the party, Meghan in that stunning Stella McCartney, and also with Mama Doria there. And that must have been such a, I mean, how do you even begin to describe what she must have been feeling that day? The weight of all of this, knowing what her daughter had was going through, trying to keep class and composure, knowing that there was a lot of people in that room that were vipers that were out to get her daughter, but she was so graceful and so wonderful that day, and she looked lovely. Another interesting tidbit, though, about the wedding day was the day that was chosen, coincidence or conspiracy, you decide. It was also the day that Anne Boleyn was beheaded by Henry VIII. So I thought that was quite interesting. I don't know how the decisions about what day is chosen for the royals to get married, like how that is made, who makes that decision. I'm assuming it's, the courtiers are involved somehow. Strange. I don't know. I've always thought that it was very strange. Let's just go to your comments before we continue because there's a lot of them. You all have a lot to say today. Brandon has lots of footage from where he was standing. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, definitely gonna go back and watch his podcast. I haven't watched it yet. Fortune, I was hosting a small watch party that day. It was truly fantastic. Oh, amazing. Cinderella, I woke up early and caught the whole wedding and the replay. Lovely. Do you guys remember when she walked up the aisle to Harry and Harry said, "You look amazing." Oh, so wonderful. Oh, yeah. Harry was looking at his wifey like the whole snack she was, just ready to eat it up. Lottie, I woke up at 4 a.m. just to watch his sister's wedding. Lovely. Watched it from start to finish, even did myself afternoon tea. Oh, that's wonderful. And there was so many women who themed their wedding after the royal wedding, and I'm I'm um I'm convinced that Meghan went for a dress that was going to be very easily replicated. because it was very simple. It was timeless. There was that ridiculous story. I can't remember who put it out. Was it Camilla Tominey or Emily Andrews? That Meghan was going to show up in this great big sparkling Hollywood dress. Not that it would have been a problem if she had, but they used that as a way of demeaning her. And I also have an audio that I'm going to play. So this is Dickie Arbiter just before the wedding. Have a listen to this. And he should have just sat down and eaten his food and not made any comments.
There was an issue here. Meghan is American. Nothing wrong with being an American. But Harry is an HRH. And as an American, she can't be an HRH because you don't get titles. You don't even get a courtesy title. So what's going to happen if they do get engaged, they do eventually get married? Is she going to be fast-tracked to become a British citizen? That is not going to present very well to people who've been in the queue for a long time wanting British nationality. And that is going to be a bit of a political hot potato. Watch this space.
And of course, the last American in the royal family was Wallace Simpson, who was scandalous. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this.
All right, Dickie, thank you.
There is an issue here. Meghan.
Yeah, so that was Dickie Arbiter, who also called Meghan a fling. Just so insulting. They never believed that Harry was truly in love with her. I don't think they ever believed that he was going to marry her. And even when they got married, remember there was that period just after they moved to the US where there was all these articles basically saying to Harry, leave your wife, leave her there with the kids and come back home. It was just disgusting. I remember there was a few articles referring to Harry's choice to move to the US and stay with Meghan as a car crash choice. You know, that's the type of language that they were using. And so, yeah, that's Dickie Arbiter. He was the former communications secretary, I think. And of course, he is the he's the father of Victoria Arbiter. And both of them were caught in that prank by those YouTubers lying about the Oprah interview before they'd even seen it. Yes, Sylvia, Duchess Meghan looks like an absolute angel in this photo. That's my favorite photo of the day. Just so ethereal. It's like she's just floating. Dee, I think there was so much interest in the wedding, it scared the palace. It was after the wedding they really started to go for Meghan. Yes, I don't think they expected it to get the fanfare that it did. I actually wonder if they were expecting that a lot of people wouldn't care at all. But look at these images. People really showed up and showed out for them. Kathy G, rewatching it hits differently knowing what they went through. Yeah, it does. And it's just so disappointing that all those years, Harry really stood by Kate and really tried to help her to fit into the family, tried to help her to feel comfortable. And when it was time for William to return the favor, he didn't do that for Harry and Meghan. So it must have been truly disappointing for Harry. Sandra, I'm happy Meghan made it to her wedding. To know that, as being alleged, Charles was trying to get Meghan to go to Mexico on her own to see her father. I have to ask what was planned. Exactly. A princess of the British realm going to Mexico by herself? Was she going to be given security? It's truly insane. Hi, Dorothy Ross. Thank you for joining us. H. Knight, Doria looked beautiful looking back. They got some good shots of Doria. I see where Meghan gets her looks from. Yeah, you can really see Meghan and Doria. Kat Harlem, Doria wouldn't have known that room was filled with vipers on the wedding day. I think she would have, to a degree. I think she would have. Because there are always going to be people within that circle that never accepted Meghan, even if they never said it. So perhaps she wouldn't have realized the severity of it and exactly who the people were. But I think she would have known that there are some people within these circles that are never going to fully accept my daughter. Cinderella, you could pick any day and find a strange piece of history that happened on the same day. That is true. That is true. But still, I find it strange. Like, just of all the days that the palace or whoever was organizing it, I've just always found that strange. I'm sorry. I can't help but feel that it was like the palace trolling them or something. Given just how petty these people are, I can't help but feel that it was kind of like a troll. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Ken, if you've watched The Wedding over and over again. H Night, yes, I remember that. The internet went crazy. Talking when he bit his lip. Even one announcer, yeah. He was just totally taken back by his bride. A fortune, the British royal family missed out on a huge opportunity in Meghan. They wanted to use her as a doormat, but Harry would have none of it. Yeah. And I just don't think that they expected him to be so loyal, but it just shows perhaps how little they knew Harry. Vinny Blair, I plan to watch the wedding today, but I feel the behavior of the other royals in the church will spoil it for me, as well as the hateful stories the media have written about the tiara. Yeah, I chose not to rewatch it today just because I feel like I would be watching it through such a tainted lens. So, but I know that a lot of squaddies did have some watch parties. Yes, sure. Anyone at any size could wear Meghan's dress. Yeah, Terry, I agree. Dickie Arbiter hated Meghan from day one. Such a hater. All right, so that was the wedding, and thank you so much, all of you, for sharing your thoughts. And yeah, it was a marvelous day, and well done to everyone who was on Twitter having parties, sharing, and getting it to trend. So on to the other stories. In the last literally hour, this happened, and literally the only thing I have to say about this is thank you to the palace for once again showing the double standards they have for Harry and Meghan and for themselves. Because can you imagine Meghan being escorted by a Hollywood actor like Tom Cruise to a film premiere like this? Especially someone like Tom Cruise. I mean, where is the outrage over his involvement with Scientology, an organization known for forcing women to abort their children, forcing children to do hard labor, keeping people trapped in a cult. That's what we would be hearing about if Meghan had been escorted by Tom Cruise. And we're not hearing about it now. Lottie G, thank you so much for the super sticker. Helena, I think Harry, Meghan, and Doria knew there were and will be a problem for them, starting with the tiara. Oh yeah, of course. So, and all of that went on as well. So I'm sure, like they knew that it was never going to be easy. I just don't think they realized how bad it would get. Miss P talks, the date might have been set to destroy, but God turned it around for good. Absolutely beautiful, great sunny day and beautiful wedding. Indeed. And Anne Boleyn herself was a mighty, mighty figure in British history. So you would think that they would know better than to mess with powerful, strong women. Susie Q, I don't watch the wedding anymore because I can't stand to look at the other non-royals. Yeah. I feel like one day when everything is at peace, I will watch it again. Well, Pele Scott, I think you left. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. And yes, happy 4th anniversary to our prince and princess. So yeah. Obviously they are now trying to get in with the Hollywood crowd. This is a tweet from Omid. Am I the only one that has noticed this? Have you noticed how William always says, Catherine and I, Catherine and I? Has anybody actually ever heard William say my wife and I? Because Harry says it, and I'm pretty sure even Charles says it. But in writing, in speeches, like here, it's always Catherine and I. I don't know. I just find that weird. And now the British press are basically, I think, trolling William. Obviously, he's are just not happy with him. Because what is this? And after this was posted on the Daily Fail, people started reposting that funny video of Harry doing the assault course and William doing the assault course and having like 20 people surrounding him while doing a beam that's like literally a quarter of a meter off the ground. So funny. And in Piers Morgan is failing news, Piers Morgan is failing. So Piers Morgan's show Uncensored is now at an all-time low. The Wednesday episode had just 24,000 viewers. And like I tweeted, he has literally tried everything. He's mentioned Meghan, he's brought on Trump, he's talked about cultural talking points like trans rights and critical race theory, gone after all the usual talking points that sets off, you know, his side of the aisle. And nothing has worked. Absolutely nothing has worked because he has nothing of value to offer. And it's not that difficult debates about sticky topics don't have value, but when you're coming from a place of you're just talking about it because you know that it sets off your base and you want to have a very aggravated conversation about it, not a calm, logical debate about it, I think people are getting bored of that. And I think they're also bored of Piers Morgan. And as someone mentioned on Twitter, Piers Morgan has mentioned Meghan over 700 times on Twitter, 52 times in segments on Good Morning Britain, 41 times on Daily Mail columns, probably more than that, to be honest. And that doesn't count the amount of times that he mentioned her on his new show. And it's not just his show that's failing. I think that all the shows that are similar to his are also having issues as well, like GB News Station. One of their most popular platform is actually TikTok with 200,000 followers. But in comparison, as somebody pointed out, a TikTok account of a British man feeding his pet seagull has 3.2 million followers. So people would rather watch a man feeding a seagull than watch GB News. So I guess we can call it karma because they've done all they can to use Meghan's name to cause controversy, and people just aren't interested. Patricia, look at Boldy's face. Well, I have to say, That is actually the happiest I think Catherine in a long time. William is just like he's just not interested. I think he almost looks relieved that Kate is walking with Tom. So yeah, his face. Where are the body language experts, please? Yes, Angela, why off the shoulder? We thought that off the shoulder was vulgar. Yeah. Yes, Tom is holding her hand. Yes. William's body language in the picture. Where are the body language experts? Oh, nice. Rachel, Tom Cruise thinks it's in his interest to support the king. It really is not. It's going to backfire on him. Thank you so much, Dina Nassar, for the super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Fine bones. He looked like he swallowed a frog. Who, William? Or Tom Cruise? Yes, Pele Scott. A wonderful wedding with true love. Bobo, do you think that Tom Cruise in the Church of Scientology will brainwash William and Kate? Well, instead of the film star? That is a very good question. Sherry, they're kissing up to Tom Cruise so they can get easy access to Hollywood elites. Willie Leaks wants to be part of Hollywood so bad. Well, I don't know if I would actually class Tom Cruise like he has his hit movies that do very well. Top Gun, that kind of series being one of them, and what's the other series that he's known for? The name isn't coming to me. It's the one that's always been like James Bond's poor cousin. Mission Impossible. Yes. So kind of like the Top Gun series and Mission Impossible. You know, those were like his really big hits, but outside of that, his hits have kind of been kind of up and down here and there. I think War of the Worlds did okay. So I wouldn't say that he's not an A-lister, but I wouldn't say that he's, you know, as current and it as he once was. And certainly his associations with the Church of Scientology have contributed to that a lot. So if they're thinking that buddying up to Tom Cruise is somehow going to get them into the Hollywood crowd, I think their thinking is entirely wrong. Yeah, Lucy went, Tom Cruise is weird, and he would fit right in with the Royals. Yeah. Maybe they can hook him up with Tom Cruise is single, right? They can hook him up with one of their cousins. That will get their clicks and views up. Lydia, apart from Dickie Arbiter, a lot of the royal biographers and British media believe that Harry was just going to play with Meghan. They were all shocked when Harry announced engagement. Yeah. No, but didn't Dickie Arbiter believe the same? Miss P talks. Charles has just recently saying my wife and I. Okay. Bonnie, I find it weird as well. Yeah, I find it weird. Is it a protocol thing? Unfortunately, Charles has always referred to Camilla as my amazing wife. Yeah, see, like I'm not the only one that's noticed it. Yes, Daily Fowl is absolutely 100% trolling William. At Harlem, the Cambridges needed an American Hollywood star so people would notice them. I hope the Elsa's coordinated in a first movie premiere. Well, it was a bit of a sometimes good to laugh. Point out the hypocrisy. Emerald the Miss P talks. Okay, let's just give it 1 second. I think there's something wrong with the connection. Can you all? Can you hear me now? Is it all right now? Is it still fading? Okay, it's okay now. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so that was that. There was someone who gave yes, Belinda. Happy anniversary to the Duke and Duchess. Love your podcast, Duchess of Success. Thank you so much for watching, Belinda, and thank you for your super sticker. So the only other thing I had to mention. Oh, okay. So we have a couple of other things to mention. Actually, the artist list for the Platinum Party at the Palace has been announced. Now, the last time that there was a Jubilee, there was a concert. So no surprises that they're doing this again. Not a bad list, to be honest. We've got Sir Elton John there, Diversity, Rod Stewart, Alicia Keys. That's a surprise. That's a huge surprise. Hans Zimmer, Diana Ross, Queen and Adam Lambert, and Steph London, who's quite big here in the UK, and Craig David. So yeah, they've managed to pull in quite a decent list. Me personally, if I was an artist, I wouldn't want to be involved, just because in the end, I think that this Jubbly is going to have a very bad stain on it. And literally just yesterday, you've got some workers' unions who have announced strike action for the Platinum Jubilee for the weekend. And they are planning on walking out of 2 key tube stations, which is just fantastic. Hidden Where It Hurts, Power of the People. And I guess my predictions for protests aren't going to happen, because how's everybody going to get to Central with their pitchforks if they can't get on the train? It's going to be a very long bus ride for anybody that wanted to protest. So it's going to be interesting to see if they come to any kind of agreement before that happens. But well done to the unions for pushing back. And yeah, get more money while you're at it. And Hidden Where It Hurts on the busiest, one of the busy, or what's going to be the busiest weekends of the year, because we do actually get a bank holiday for the Jubbly. So even if people weren't going to watch the Jubbly specifically, they were going to be out and about trying to get into central London. Let's see. Bertha, have you heard anything about the docuseries Harry and Meghan were making? It was reported by Page 6. I don't know if you spoke about it. I just joined. Yeah, I saw that. Obviously, I'm skeptical because it's Page 6. Now, I have seen what looks like film crew following Harry and Meghan around, But I think what the British press is trying to do is they're trying to pass it off as some, like trashy reality TV. And I don't think if it's going to be anything, it's definitely not going to be that. We know that. It could just be a docuseries following them around, planning Invictus, being involved with charities. That's what I see it being, if at all there is anything. But they're trying to, spin it into something trashy as usual. What do we expect? Rachel, Tom Cruise's film for an ego quest for him. He believes in his wow, tell us what you really think, Rachel. He believes in his own superiority from his religion. He's boring and does the same in every movie. Well, as C-Mac pointed out, he does actually have a pretty good slate of films behind him. It's just his associations with Scientology. I think you're right. That's where his ego, came in. And it just shows, like, you can have everything in life. You can have money, you can have fame, you can have the career, and you can still very easily slip into these kind of, weird cults. And the point where I think at one point, like, didn't Katie Holmes literally have to escape? I mean, you think somebody as famous as her had to escape. What more for the people, like ordinary people in Scientology? I mean, I've heard horrible things about what they do to people. But yeah, that's what's unfortunately ruined Tom Cruise. And I think he would have had an even better career had he not been so involved in Scientology. Cinderella, did the royal family wish Harry and Meghan a happy anniversary? I don't think they did, but I wouldn't expect them to, because even Kate and William didn't post about their anniversary. Remember, I did mention that in a podcast, to the point where even the Derangers were unhappy about it. Yes, Marina, they're trying to pull in the crowds. Alicia Keys and Diana Ross. I mean, it's not a bad slate, if I'm honest. I'm actually quite impressed they managed to, pull in quite a few names. Having said that, the pandemic really had a huge effect on the music industry the last 2 years. So everybody's trying to get a stage to stand on. Chode Cece, Pissem has been bailed out frequently by his mentor Murdoch, has been the biggest contributor. Yeah, and I hope that this is the last time he will be given any kind of platform, and he can just go into a corner and start his little podcast for his few handful of followers. Please leave the rest of us alone and stay off the television. Catherine, I hope Harry and Meghan only go to the service. Yeah, there's some service with the Queen, which is what I think they're attending. And I haven't seen anything to suggest that they are going to attend anything else. Kerry Ann, I wonder how much it's going to cost the English taxpayer for these big names. I wonder that too. And as yesterday I mentioned in the podcast that it cost over 800 million for the last Jubbly. So we're probably looking at maybe $1 billion plus for this one. After 2 years of a pandemic that destroyed the economy and have left people struggling. Benjamin, Elton John really navigates a fine line because he truly likes and supports Harry and Meghan too. Yeah. I think he just, I can understand why he just wants to keep a very, respectful attitude. So I'm not mad at Elton John. Rahini, Alicia Keys would be at least 500k. Yeah, so all of this money for them and nothing for starving cold seniors. Indeed. See, Mac, I can agree with Scientology for the brain that look at the ouch. Yeah, it's just a very weird, very, very weird cult. If you haven't watched the documentary Going Clear, definitely check that out. I always thought that Going Clear should have actually been a series because there's a lot that's not mentioned about Scientology. But if you just want to get an idea of just how weird it is, go and watch that. Oh, thank you so much. Is it Bertha? Sorry, I'm trying to find your name. Bertha Steppen. Thank you for the super sticker. If I ever miss your name, guys and dolls, please don't think that it's because I've done it on purpose. It's just the chat goes so fast. Sometimes I do miss people. Shaw Stewart, British airports are going to be very busy. Why? People leaving. People like myself. C-Mac, I'm really upset about Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's usually pretty politically astute, and I can't believe he signed up for this. Well, at the end of the day, you know, these Hollywood stars, they want a paycheck. Yes, Black Queen, money over morality. Money over morality, indeed. Kim Coates, are William and Kate still doing an American tour this year, including so many American performers for the Jubbly? Seems like they're looking for friends who will help them to get the Mark and Sparkle. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, if they can come to the Jubbly, who's to say that they won't show up to other events if William and Kate are going to America? That's a good point. All right, that is for sure all I had to say today. Keeping it short and sweet. We'll get through your remaining comments and then I'll give someone the last word of the day. Thank you so much for everyone's generosity today with the super stickers and super chats. Appreciate it as always. And yeah, it's been a really nice day to reflect. Yeah. Oh, your comments, Kate shoulder out. Scandalous, absolutely scandalous. You know, the next thing you know, Kate will be wearing black nail polish, I'm telling you. And then all hell is truly going to break loose at that point. She'll Stewart, yes, bank holiday and everything is open. Yeah, I know quite a few people who are actually going away for the Jubbly. They're not staying. Or the impossible, probably the English celebs doesn't have much credibility or credentials. Jubilee needs the Americans. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's so many Americans on that list, actually. You would think it being the Jubbly that it would be there'd be a lot more British performers, or maybe there was a lot of British performers that snubbed. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of American performers. Almost about the same, though. Equal. That's a very good point. Didn't even notice that at first. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Kat Harlan will never know which entertainers were asked to perform but declined. That's a good point as well. Like, they had to have asked people like Sheeran or who else? Like Stormzy. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Rahini, sending love to Harry and Meghan for showing us what true love looks like. Indeed. And we will end it there. Thank you so much as always, everyone. Tomorrow is Friday. Who still listens to that song? I do. I still listen to that Rebecca Black song come Friday. Iconic. All right. See you all tomorrow, everyone. Bye. I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel love for
dancing.